Welcome into the latest ESPN headline. I'm Prim Saripapat alongside our NFL insider, Bill Polian. Well, over the last 15 years, the Dallas Cowboys have only won one playoff game, and one particular player thinks they know why this organization is not more successful, and that is veteran safety Will Allen, who seems to think that this atmosphere is too micromanaged. He said in an interview with Sirius XM NFL Radio, which you were a part of, he said that the Dallas Cowboys atmosphere is micromanaged, everything was tight. He also said, I didn't feel the relationship and the bonding between the players and coaches. How much truth do his comments hold?
Well, you know, every man looks at the world through his own eyes. And so I'm sure Will was reflecting his own personal feelings. How that translates to the larger group remains to be seen. I have no idea. I do, however, feel that he was drawing a comparison between what he felt was a fairly corporate atmosphere in Dallas as opposed to what is typically thought of as a rather family-friendly atmosphere in Pittsburgh. It's really a distinction between two markets as much as it is between the operation of the franchises.
And I should add that Will, I mean, this is a guy that has been in the league for a while. He's 31 years old, has been with at least 5 different teams, but he only spent 4 or 5 games with the Dallas Cowboys, so it wasn't a long time. But you were in the Colts front office for over a decade, so how much influence does an owner, a team president, GM have on just the culture of the organization?
Well, I think that the market and the way the market does business, the size of the market, the size of the sponsorships that you have, the size of your stadium, all of that has an effect on it. You know, not as much effect as the coach, not as much effect certainly as the general manager would have in terms of selection of players and things of that nature, but it has some. So it's obviously a very different world playing in New York than it is playing in Indianapolis. The two markets are vastly different. The media, the amount of money, the size, etc. All of that plays a role. And so each and every franchise is different.
Talking about Jerry Jones, I mean, this is a guy that has been with the Dallas Cowboys for over 20 years. He first purchased the organization and team back in 1989. There's a lot of different views about him. A lot of them view him as one of the most involved owners in the NFL, but there's also been a lot of criticism. What is his reputation to you?
Well, I know Jerry quite well. First of all, I think he's one of the most forward-looking, I might even use the word genius, in all of sports. When it comes to promoting, building, operating his franchise, I don't think there's any better in the sports landscape today, and he may be in the top 5 or 10 of all time.
So when you look at their playoff record, just one playoff win, why?
That's a little bit different story. The building and operation of the franchise, he has no parallel. On the field, it hasn't translated. I mean, that's a fact. Now, why that is, I can't say. I'm not involved in the day-to-day operations there, nor have I ever been. So I can't tell you why that is. But there is clearly a disconnect between what is the most profitable and most forward-looking and most aggressively marketed and operated franchise in all of sports and what they've done on the field, which is why we're talking about it after all.
Not an easy job. It's a little bit easier being an NFL analyst, I would assume?
Yeah, I think so.
If you want to check out Bill, be sure to check out NFL Insiders at 3 p.m. Eastern. That is on ESPN. Keep it logged on to ESPN.com for more on this story and all your NFL needs. For Bill Polian, I'm Prim Saripapat with your latest ESPN headline.